Welcome back. You're watching the final hour of today, and the DA has finalised its candidates for the upcoming Gauteng Provincial Congress. Nominations for the Gauteng Provincial Congress positions have now closed. Current leader Solim Simanga and Khume Ramulifho are contenders for the position of the Democratic Alliance leader in the province. For more, we're joined by him. He goes by the name Khume, is the nickname I understand that you have. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Why contend for such a difficult job in a province you've seen has deteriorated and has gone through so many big issues?
It is a tough challenge, but a tough challenge also requires tough people who have got vision in terms of what needs to be done. Because whenever we see uphills and we run away, we will never succeed. So I believe that I will be able to turn around this province under the DA leadership. That's why I decided to raise my hand. As you indicated correctly, that we've seen, political parties declining. But I believe that based on my experience, my leadership, I will be able to turn things around. I've been going out to ask delegates to, support me. And so far, very positive. I believe probably next week around this time, I will be pronounced as the provincial leader, going to lead the DA on the ground to win in 2024. So, as you said, it is tough, but the good thing is that the voters are out there. We have almost 12 million eligible voters in the province. So what we need is to get to them, talk to them, and give them hope that things can turn around. And that is what I'm prepared to do.
What is your vision? What exactly is it that you're going to prioritize if you do indeed take up or win that position after the elections take place?
Yeah, Gauteng used to be a province where people come here for better opportunities. That is now historical. So I want to make sure that I revive Gauteng to be a province of opportunities where people will be able to access either job opportunities, quality education, where they get skills. That is my priority. I want to ensure that that is what we do, because that's how we're going to fight unemployment. That is how we're going to fight crime. That's how we're going to ensure that people live freely, safely, as currently is not the case. There is not any suburb which you can be guaranteed to use your phone, walking around, just even to do a walk, because it's no longer safe. And I want to ensure that we prioritize that. But how you prioritize that, you must make sure that more and more of your people are getting opportunity to be employed, so that we're not wasting talent, especially active population, just sitting at home doing nothing. For me, it's a huge, huge concern. But we need to make sure that we commit ourselves by creating conducive environment so that business can succeed. And as government, we need to do our job. And that is not what has been done. There are no consequences. People do as they wish. Some of them are contributing to the, downfall of these companies, where, entrepreneurs are doing their best, investing a lot of money, taking risk. But government, instead of providing support, they're actually weakening them and bringing them down. So I want to make sure that we streamline that. And, the team which is going to work, after we win government in 2024, you must be committed to serve our people with pride. And that commitment, we need to judge it. And your performance must also be assessed. If you are failing to do that, we must be very firm. And if you need be, you must be fired, because you're not serving the people which are supposed to be served. And I think that's what we elect. People do as they wish, they get away with it, and it's business as usual. They know that politicians come to office, you serve 5 years, after 5 years, it's either it's a new team, they continue, because there are no consequences. We see a number of projects which are on hold, money is being paid out, but we ask why people are getting away with this matter. And because there are no consequences, we have actually cultivated this as a culture which it needs to be get rid of.
Yeah, we're failing at even the most basic things as covering potholes and the like. What mandate are you going to give those serving under you when it comes to issues around infrastructure, the electricity crisis, which business, as you've just spoken about, continues to lament about, and of course the cholera outbreak that we saw in Tswana? We do have the Mayor Celia Brink dealing with various stakeholders to remedy that issue, but these are issues that persist in different communities. So the mandate that you are going to give those serving under you to say these are low-hanging fruits that we shouldn't even have in the communities as problems?
The first thing is to set a tone. If the tone from the leadership is clear that this is what is expected, when you said we must serve people with integrity, they must see it through you as a leader. But if you said we must serve with integrity, but your life itself, you can't even be subjected to any scrutiny and pass, because what we are telling people is not what we are doing. So I'm going to ensure that when we said we are committed to serve, only those who are committed to serve will do. And a failure to do that, there will be consequences. And I'm going to ensure that we are not just inviting people to say, here is free for all. It's to say we see our crisis. We need to get out of this crisis. And how do we do that? It's when we commit to work more than what we are actually currently doing, and hold each other accountable, and that is what I'm going to emphasize. And I believe, there are some of the things which are very simple, as you said. It's not that we don't have resources. We've got a lot of resources, but the resources which are there are not utilized to benefit our people based on what needs to be done. A small project will cost a lot of money. That project, even if it's pothole, they won't fix pothole and last, 2 rainy seasons. And the same people will get the same contract.
It's a cycle.
And you ask, why the same people are getting the thing? I usually cite an example about building of schools. One contractor who is failing to deliver one school will be the same contractor getting all this contract. And it's probably because of corruption, because they are servicing politicians. So if we've got politicians who are saying, I'm far away from corruption, I'm here to fight corruption, and not just to talk about it, just also act, because I think that is what is missing. Many of our politicians are the ones who are also contributing to the trust deficit amongst our voters. That's why they develop apathy. And I'm saying I want to stand up and invite more people and say we can't be defeated by the corrupt politicians. Let's stand up and say we are here to serve, and let's commit to serve. And if we do so, we'll win hope and people will rally behind us. And we need to make sure that our prosecutorial system is also firm, that when we find those who are guilty, we see actions and consequences. Because I think currently it's because people just get away. They can be moved from municipality, go to province, go to national department, and it's become a cycle. And there are no consequences. I want to emphasize that people must be held to account, and there should be consequences where everyone can see.
Part of your campaign ahead of the provincial conference is instilling confidence in the people of the province. How do you instill confidence in young people in particular, who many have argued have been left on the sidelines, are being left behind by all of the issues that are currently happening, and we're focusing on many big issues that don't necessarily address them? How do you address the immediate needs and challenges that are faced by young people in the province?
I think when we, show that the opportunities which needs to be created are there for, should be there for them so that they benefit from them, we'll be able to link. For example, as I said, we've got a lot of wasted talent.
Yes.
Many young people on the street, some of them end up being involved in drugs because we've not even prioritized, sporting facilities, learning facilities or learning institutions. We need to try to ensure that we provide access to these opportunities where we'll be able to get young people get involved. So if we can be able to tap into that and led by people with integrity, with credibility, we'll be able to win that hope back and say, here are people who want to lead you. They've got no any other intentions or motives. They are just there to lead you and assist you to succeed. So I think that's something which is missing. So I want to reignite that mood on the ground to say, let's provide access to opportunities so that these young people are absorbed, either it's in the workplace, whether it's in the entertainment industry, so that we provide even support. Those who want to be entrepreneurs, let's make it easy for them to start their businesses. But currently it's quite difficult to even start your own business. There are many people who come with ideas. We've got institutions, instead of assisting, rather they become a bottleneck. Instead of assisting those who come with ideas, they will be sent from pillar to post to a point where they end up giving up. And when they give up, those ideas which are supposed to be helping us to develop and make sure that we build this country, we end up losing it. So I want to make sure that they get involved actively and participate, because this democracy which we have, it can only be stronger when they actively take part. Because you can't just say we've got democracy and you sit at home. That's why I'm going to focus on ensuring that young people get registered. When they get registered, we will persuade them, we will motivate them to go and vote and hold people who are elected to account, because that seems to be missing.
Khume, how do you think you'll navigate as the provincial leader in local governments that are almost in shambles because of coalitions that have failed? Does it not concern you that the inability for the different parties to come together for the good of the citizens of the province has led to the mess that we're seeing in major metros? How do you envision working in an environment that has been as tarnished as it has since the 2021 local government elections?
The first approach is I'm aiming to go for an outright win, so that we avoid instability, as we have seen, as you also mentioned, regarding the coalition government, because it is doable.
Yes.
If you can really pay attention to these people who are disgruntled or discouraged because of how politicians behave. So I'm going for an outright win as a first, prize. And then, obviously, we have to work with coalition partners in municipalities because elections are already held. So it's about providing leadership and engage with them and say, if your priority is about serving our people, let's discuss, let's talk, let's debate. So if it's about yourself, you are in a wrong space. So that's not what we need. So one has to be firm and make sure that you utilize the laws which are there. Obviously, as you know, intergovernmental relation is very important. So you need to work and have a cooperation with all the municipalities. Not because the ones part of your political party, you can relate with them. So it's all about governance.
Yeah.
And good governance means we must hold each other accountable, support each other. We will be asking why you're not spending the budget, because you have got the budget. Are we getting an impact from the budget spent, or is just spending it for the sake of spending? So I think we're going to ensure that the intergovernmental relations is working, and we hold each other accountable, and we do that in an open, transparent way, so that there are no any nefarious, views or ideas where people don't trust each other. So I'm going to set the tone from the start. This is what needs to be done. We need to restore the confidence in the public office, and how you do that, it's through actions, not just only to talk. So the more you implement programs which people benefit from them, the more they will then gradually start to change and see that there are politicians who are there to serve them.
I mean, we'll watch you very closely should you become the provincial leader and see that you are living by your word. Thank you very much for joining us. That is Khume Ramulifho joining us there from the DA.